Back. So this is the day after Christmas. We have 21 orders, no, 22 orders for about $430. So it's been doing pretty well. Decent for being Christmas. We're moving a lot of stuff. We had my girlfriend come out and she picked these and went through all the stuff. So pretty good. So we'll just start off first with the first one here, and it is King Kong. This one just came through. I think it was like $5.99. This actually sold this morning, but we're just going to ship it out with all the others since we're already going to be going. We picked that up from a big lot of VHS. There was some decent ones in there. I think it was $75 for like 20 boxes. The thing was, there was a lot of junk. Just really junky. And like even this one has some like water damage to it. We've sold this same copy before, so King Kong does do well. We've sold numerous King Kongs and Godzillas. So if you're out there, you can find King Kong. Next, we have the Cherokee Kid. This sold for $7 on an offer. You know, we've had this one up for a while. Let's see where we got this. We got this from the lady the next town over that has a lot of media items. So that was $7 on an offer. Next, we have this Japanese movie. We got this in Reno. When we went to the rib cook-off, it sold for $9.99. Next, we have Willie the Sparrow. You know, I had never heard of this movie. I thought it could be decent. These feature film for families can do all right. So we picked this one up for, I think it's 80 cents. And it sold for $5.99. So not much on that one. Just trying to, get stuff that I think might sell. I don't always scan. About 95% of the time now. Once in a while I do if the prices are too high. And I'll show you an example of that. We have a sing-along songs. This sold for $24.99. So we knew this one was good. We had it for a while. We're going to keep it for the kids. A while is like 3 years. And we finally just decided to list it. So sing-along songs, $24.99. That is a good price for a VHS. So going on to the next one is Senna. If you guys know Senna, he was a race car driver who passed away. Very popular. But this one sold for, I think, $14.99 plus shipping. This is from Felix. Felix, he was a really good picker of movies. And I just seen that he listed a bunch of movies. He was going to the flea market. And I contacted him and I said, hey, what do you got left over? I said, hey, I got 2 boxes, quarter each. So I went and picked them up. It was about 200 items. And he's like, 60% is sealed. Looks like some pretty good stuff. And I'll be showing you that soon. But yeah, I like Felix's items. They're just different. He likes different style movies. He said he's kind of going into the way of only being a collector and not selling. So we might not be getting any more from Felix, but it was cool to find a little bit more. Next, we have this heavy metal Halloween magazine. We got this when we got our DVDs and CD buy. There was also a stack of magazines. This one sold for $10.49. Next, we have this California 4-H book. It's a cooking book. Anytime you see the spiral bound, they do all right. I think we paid like 50 cents or so for this. It sold for $9.99 plus shipping. We got this when we went to Reno. We have the whole 9 yards with Matthew Perry. Even before he passed, I had a stack. I said I'm gonna do a lot of these whole 9 yards, and I just never got to it. Finally, I just did a lot of a bunch of movies, and there you go. We got Matthew Perry. I think it's $9.99 plus shipping. Next, we have this Bruce Cockburn. $8.99 plus shipping. This came from our big CD DVD buy. There's a few of them in there. It's getting less and less on those. I only see 3 items here from there. So, good and bad. I mean, there's still some of that stuff to list, so it's not going away, but this next one came from it. Great Expectations. We sold this for $8.25. It's just Robert De Niro, Gwyneth Paltrow. We sell some of her movies. They do alright. We have the various artists, the golden age of American rock and roll. This sold for $15. We paid 50 cents for this in Reno when we went to the rib thing. So I was just looking through the CDs and I saw this Ace that will focus. Well, anyways, I saw this label here, the side, and I thought, hey, that could be pretty good. And it was $15 for a CD. Not too bad. We have this Baby Einstein. Let me go to the next page here. So I just print out all the sheets and I read them off here after we pick them all. So this Baby Einstein, again, this came from the lady in the next town over. I think this was about $14.99. $13.99 plus shipping. Pretty good. Those can do well. We've sold a lot of them over the years. Next we have this Lenny White. We took an offer of $25. This came from our rummage sale CDs, where we paid $20 for like 2 boxes. I think this is the second one that has sold, so that's a pretty good one there. We have this Ozzy Osbourne. We paid about 50 cents for this CD. It sold for $8.05. I think this was on an offer. We bought this from a local auction house where nobody bids on the media. So pretty much I bought like a stack of, it was like a couple VHS and something else for like $3. So, let's see, the original Christmas classics. I think we just got this when we went to the Highway 70 rummage sale. Someone paid $20. So, kind of surprised to get a Christmas order so late, because it's not even going to be Christmas time when they get this. So let's see what happens there. Here's a movie from Felix, Human Traffic. This one looked interesting. Rave kind of movie. It did sell for $14.99. Next we have 8mm with Nicolas Cage. I've never seen this movie. It does seem a little freaky. It sold for $5.59. I was telling my girlfriend that we find 8mm movie all the time, and that we could probably just find another one and put it in its place and have one up. So if somebody is interested, they can purchase it. Alright, so up next is this service manual. This came from a big photography buy. It sold for $24.99. This is for a Minolta. It fits various ones. We have a bunch of these spiral bound manuals. I listed like 2 or 3 to see if there's any interest. It's been a few months now, 3 or 4, and we finally got one to sell. So yeah, that photography stuff is slow moving, but when it does sell, it's usually decent priced. So I'm probably going to list a few more of these manuals, so that way we can get some stuff moving. Up next is this 310ers. You know, like I was saying, I don't really scan stuff, but I did go to a yard sale, and right when I pulled on, I'm like, oh man, this is one that I go to all the time, and you know, they don't really update their stuff, and it's just high priced. I'm like, it was like the only one I was going to. So I was like, I'll just go in there and look. So I seen a stack of DVDs, and then they're like $2 each. I'm like, hey, can I buy these for $1? And they're like, no. So I had a stack in my hand, and I'm like, I'm just going to buy one then. I think 1 or 2. So I scanned everything, and there was this 310ers, and it sold for $14.99. So it was alright price. Cost a little too much than I like to pay, but, you know, I made some money. And up next we have Getting Through to People. This book sold for $7.99. This came from our big Magalia book buy. You know, I go over there all the time and go through the books, and I'll just pull out ones I think that could be interesting, and I come over here and list them. And this was one of the items, so it hasn't been up terribly long. But yeah, pretty good sales. You know, we got a lot of stuff to ship. You know, I have the next week off from work because, you know, the new year and everything, which is nice. I'm going to work on shipping these and then see what comes through tomorrow. Thank you.